Probably the most lively campaign we had in Israel in the last 20 years.
I think that Dov Lipman.
Dov Lipman will disagree.
Yeah, correct.
Way
too much fun over there.
I assume he hardly sees his family. He hardly visits his home. He hardly sleeps. He hardly eats normal. He hardly drinks normal. He's running all over the place, which is, well, I've seen him work. He is doing a great job.
It's amazing. It seems that the left in Israel just forgot that they are in an election period of time, and they're just like doing this. And okay, let's see what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing, and we will react to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. And they are losing in the polls. They are losing mandates, and they are losing seats. And it seems that what is happening?
So I think that you're correct in terms of the approach. I'll speak first in terms of what we're doing. We're certainly out there night after night, day after day, presenting our case, and I do believe we're doing it in a very positive way, an uplifting way, and I do believe, again, that we will be the surprise when it comes to the end. In terms of the exact number, we'll see, but we'll go beyond the expectations because we're handling the campaign in that way. I think that people underestimate the significance of a security situation on voters, and that's why we're talking about criminal, we're talking about corruption, we're talking about lack of trust, and people somehow fall back to this, he's the person who can give us security. One of the things that we're working very hard on trying to do is to chip away at that. It's not true. There's a list of people in Israel, I'm not talking about just my party leader, who, if they're given the reins of Israel, can surround themselves with the right people and provide Israel security. I think this has to be a major element of the campaign, because as long as Netanyahu was allowed to say, I'm the one who will save you at the end of the day, I think voters are able to put all these other episodes to the side, and they're able to just single-mindedly focus on that.
And there's nothing.
If I can build on what Ron is saying, in the very beginning, when we would go out there, we saw people saying to us, listen, you sound great, but we need to create an alternative to Netanyahu. And that was the focus, and that's why they had the spike in the polls. Now, people are saying, but wait a minute, there are issues in my country. There are day-to-day live issues. There are socioeconomic issues, education issues in my own life. And they're switching towards us or other possible parties because they're saying, we didn't hear anything about these issues. We are day after day presenting our plan about these issues. And again, they can be debated, we can argue them, but we're presenting them. We're showing what we did on these issues, what we want to continue doing on these issues. And that is what voters ultimately do. I think Yair Lapid came out the other day and said the issue of this campaign should not be Sarah Netanyahu, it should be Benjamin Netanyahu. And the moment you start focusing on her, now again, if something criminal comes out and the like, that's a whole nother level. But it's critical that people who are criticizing about corruption have to be very careful that it can't be fired right back at them. Yeah, we in our party, we're running very strong on the corruption front, and that's because we have a package that we're bringing in terms of fighting corruption. We have the experience fighting corruption. We have a very clean list. To be out there throwing stones at Netanyahu when their response is, we'll show you what your issues are, that's also a very risky thing to do.
Yeah.
We have nothing.
So let's, you mentioned the United States. Rudy Giuliani just paid a visit to Israel, and he gave a huge hug to Benjamin Netanyahu, saying that Benjamin Netanyahu going to the Senate and going to the Congress and actually giving a speech, this is a good thing, this is not a bad thing, and actually the United States needs to hear what Benjamin Netanyahu has to say. Maybe the United States needs to hear what Benjamin Netanyahu has to say.
I think that Israel's voice regarding the Iranian issue is important. It doesn't necessarily have to be done in the framework of a joint session of Congress, which is a major, major event. As someone who grew up in the United States, this is a major event. This is prime time, 2 weeks before an election. You can do that in the context of a private committee, and all the senators and congressmen know it. The relationship between the United States and Israel is critical. We should be talking about that issue, not Sarah Netanyahu and bottles, again, unless the police get to something, which we'll see. We should be talking about the destructive nature of what he's done to that relationship and how vital that relationship is, and that we need leaders of this country who will take that relationship seriously, not take it towards anything personal, and when there are disagreements, which there will be, it be dealt with in the professional, quiet way it should be done. But that should be an issue in this campaign.
But you know what? I'm trying to look in the really good campaign video, small video that he that was out just a few days ago, and
the babysitter.
Yeah, the babysitter one, and you know, maybe we do need a babysitter. Maybe we do need a babysitter. Maybe we are not capable to take care of our own. And maybe Benjamin Netanyahu is the solution because he's seeing something that we're not seeing.
So again, the people who are surrounding the prime minister, whoever that will be, you know, I spoke to Yair Lapid and to Yaakov Perry about the security cabinet. What is it like there? Not to hear the information. You have the military professionals, you have all the advisors, and there's not one premier of Israel, and I'm saying this not just about Yair Lapid, who won't be strong on Israel's security. We're here to have our country to be safe and sound. Everyone will take that into account. But the question is, what destruction happens to that security from all the bravado and the proud talk? Sometimes that's actually destructive to Israel's security. Hurting the relationship with America is destructive to Israel's security. I don't mean we have to do everything America tells us to do, but there's ways to deal with it. But these public spats and these public issues and intervening with elections, this is not where we should be. We should be dealing with our security, but doing it in the professional